ab.com.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We are looking for your calls here this morning, so if you are joining us live, the number to call in is 402-558-1110, or if you're outside of the metro area, we'll pick up the dime for you. A dime? A dime for a phone call? We'll pick up the $5 for you. 1-888-250-2091. 888-250-2091. Whenever I talk about picking up the cost of a call for someone, it makes me think of old payphones, right? And when I was a little kid, they had these shoes. I don't think they make them anymore, but they were called kangaroo shoes. And they called them kangaroo shoes because they had a little pouch on the side, a little Velcro pouch that was literally big enough to hold a quarter. So you could put a quarter in there, so you would always have a quarter with you to call mom if you needed help. Kangaroo shoes. Bringing back the memories there, you Gen Xers. All right, so if you missed the show last week, we wrapped up the 2024 maintenance checkup special last week, so it's dunsies, it's over with. If you go to the website and try to buy it right now, it's going to show up at the normal price of $99. We'll have all the other loose marketing pulled down on Monday. I don't make the guys do that on Sunday morning before the show. It's, not fun. And we wanted to make sure that everyone on every station that hears the program got the full amount of time from when they heard, today is the last day. So in some stations, we're up to a week tape delayed, so that's why it stayed up. But now it's over. It's done. Bye-bye. It was probably one of the most successful maintenance checkup sales we have ever run from the perspective of certificates. We really never got busy on the bench. People had things going on. There's, graduations and proms and things to get ready for, and clothes that needed to be bought and things. So a lot of people did not bring their computers in immediately. They chose to purchase that certificate instead. If you do have a certificate, now is an outstanding time to bring that computer in. We typically see a slowdown this time of year, this month, next month, up to 50% of the number of repair tickets. So people get busy doing life, right? And they're not worried about their computer anymore. They have their maintenance done. They're not looking really to buy a new computer potentially right now. So they just, they do their thing. They live their life. So if you have the opportunity to come in, your turnaround times right now are going to be absolutely fantastic. So we wrapped up that maintenance checkup sale. We told you last week what to look for if you were buying a new PC. A lot of people are thinking about a new computer right now with all the advances in AI that are coming, the different kind of hardware you're going to need to do that. You're not going to be able to do that on your $500 HP. It's just not going to work. And, what should you look for when you look for a new computer? So we went over that last week on the program. We also hinted that we would have some really cool special thing for the ultimate upgrade sale that started on the 1st. That we were going to tell you about on Facebook. And I did. I posted a little video there, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. By the way, we are live right there right now, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. You can check out the program there and, jump on into Schrockville if you want to. Say hi to everybody there and ask questions. During the commercial breaks, I do try to pop in there and answer questions and anything that I can do to give you a good experience here on the program. All right, so what do we have coming up on the show today? Well, the big thing is the Ultimate Upgrade Special. The Ultimate Upgrade Special is back. For those of you who don't know what it is, or maybe you haven't seen it or heard of it in a long time, the Ultimate Upgrade Special is the biggest, baddest, most amazing thing that you have ever seen as far as a computer sale. It is literally, it's as popular as the holiday special because it's the only time that you can actually get some value for your old piece of junk computer that you have at home. Maybe you're not using it anymore. Maybe it's rusting out in the garage. Your wife's on you to get rid of it, whatever the case might be. Well, now you can check it out at SchrockInnovations.com. Click on Shop and Specials. And there's not one, there's not two, but there are 3 options for you to take a look at for the Ultimate Upgrade. So for those of you who are new to the program, the Ultimate Upgrade is a deal where you trade in your old computer toward the purchase of a new computer. Now, we don't use any parts out of your old computer. It's not like we're upgrading your existing machine. If you bring us a Gateway 2000, we're not we're not making that into a brand new computer, right? We're literally trading it in for an entire new computer. That's why it's the ultimate upgrade. Not only that, but these are modular computers and solid state laptops, so they can grow with you over time as your needs change, just like that old computer used to be able to do. You know, as the old saying goes, they don't make them like they used to, guys. The stuff that we're getting in there out in the world now is all integrated chip. It's all built on one board. So the motherboard has the processor. It's not removable. It has the memory. It has the storage. It's getting harder and harder for us to find unibody laptops for our solid state modular computers that have removable memory. In fact, I have two computers that we ordered in to evaluate for next model year of Gallant laptop. This is the big boy. These are the nice ones. They came with 8 gigs of RAM. We said, okay, well, we can upgrade those to 16. Sure, let's put another 8 in there. No, you can't. There's no slot, and the memory is soldered down to the board. Did they say that anywhere in the description? No. It's just assumed that that's how life is now. You have to dig and look and hunt for the computers that are still upgradable, that can still be modified. So when you're looking for a new computer, it makes it really difficult. That's why we did that segment last week, what to look for when you're looking for a new machine. Well, during the Ultimate Upgrade sale, it doesn't matter if you have an old laptop, or an old desktop, or an old all-in-one, whatever. The all-in-ones have a recycling fee on them normally, but not during the Ultimate Upgrade. You can just trade them in. So it's pretty amazing stuff. You trade in any old computer you have for any new Ultimate Upgrade you want. So you don't have to stay within class. You don't have to trade a laptop for a laptop or a desktop for a desktop. You can take an old laptop and trade it in and get a desktop. You can trade in your kid's VTech mini laptop, the plastic one that you open up and it's got all the buttons do the same thing. Maybe they play little songs or something. Even if it doesn't work, we don't care. Grant can fix it. You bring it on in, trade it in. We've had people trade in Commodore VIC-20s. That was a really cool trade-in, actually. That was a flashback to my childhood. And I remember the first time my guys saw a bag phone, and these kids are like, "What is this phone in a bag? Why would you do that? Why would you make a pleather zipper bag to hold a big brick phone like this?" Well, because that was the portable phone back then. It was like a Vietnam era Motorola had a crank on the side. So anyway, the Ultimate Upgrade is your chance to trade in a computer. And how much is that trade-in worth? It's not like we sit down and we say, well, what does your computer have in it? How new is it? How old is it? It's not like a used car, right? It's an old computer. Nobody wants it. There is no 16-year-old kid out there who's just got his computer operator's license for the first time who's looking to buy your piece of garbage old computer. And by piece of garbage, I mean anything more than 3 years old. Nobody wants it. No church wants it. No charity wants it. Goodwill charges you to take it now. They do not want your e-waste. But during the Ultimate Upgrade sale, it can save you depending on which models you pick, it could save you up to $200 off of a brand new computer. So a lot of people, last year, like I said, we had almost 300 people decide to take advantage of the Ultimate Upgrade. And the Ultimate Upgrade sale, originally, guys, when we came up with this concept, we have to thank Barack Obama for this one. Because this is cash for clunkers, but in computers. That's where we came up with it, right? And every year, it's the same thing. Get a laptop or a desktop. Trade in whatever you want. And, every year we have the holiday special, and last year's holiday special was like a super special. Like, it was amazingly special. I mean, my guys always liked the holiday special. I had employees buying them for themselves last year. And I thought, as I sat down to do the Ultimate Upgrade, man, I mean, I know that the Ultimate Upgrade is not, it's the opposite of the holiday special. It's a low-cost computer. They're all $599. That's the same price. All of them, all 3 models are $599, as opposed to $1599. So obviously, you're not going to get as many features as you would get in a holiday special. And so I was, it would be really great if we could put a computer together that my guys would be like, I want that computer. That is something that I want. So we hunted and we came up with and actually it was Jeff over at Schrock Business who was like, Thor, I've got corporate clients. They want new computers, but they don't want the towers. They want those little mini PCs, the little Nook size 6-inch by 6-inch PCs. So we started looking into that world a little bit. And lo and behold, we found a unicorn. It's a mini PC that's 6 inches by 6 inches by roughly 2 inches. So you can imagine that in your head. You can hold it in the palm of your hand. There's a video up at facebook.com/rockinnovations. It's about the size of the width of your touchpad on your laptop. I mean, it's very small. It can run not 1, not 2, but up to 3 monitors. It has a wired and wireless internet connection. Pretty cool stuff, right? So on the outside, it's a pretty capable machine. Ryzen 5, same thing as the Endeavor. That's like a $900 computer. What the heck? Comes with 8 gigs of slower memory, comes with a slower solid state hard drive. Same thing that all the laptop manufacturers do. So we order one because, of course, I'm sure we're going to get it, and it's all going to be integrated. Because, it's 6 inches by 6 inches by 2 inches, like anything's going to be removable, right? So we get the computer. Not only is there an NVMe hard drive in there, but it's removable. There's not 1, but 2 slots for memory. All of it removable and upgradable up to 64 gigs of RAM. What the heck? Well, that's pretty cool. What about the wireless, right? The Wi-Fi chipset in there? Because there's no external antenna. I'm like, where's the antenna? And then the guy showed me where the wires were at for the antenna. The chip for your wireless internet is removable. So if your Wi-Fi dies, you don't have to throw the whole computer away and get a new one. We can just replace the Wi-Fi chip. And it has the Wi-Fi 6, which is great, up to 1800x speed. It's fast. And it's got Bluetooth 5.2, the most recent version of Bluetooth. You don't see that in what's the best word? Non-integrated chipsets. When it's built into the board, you get the latest of everything, but you don't see that in removable chips. When we're looking at it, we're like, there's a lot of space in the bottom. There's like dead air in the bottom of this thing. I wonder why they did that, because they could have probably used that extra quarter inch of empty air for better cooling on the top side. We did do a heat test on it, and at maximum performance, it only got up to like 80 degrees Celsius. After just literally 100% speed, pedal to the metal for an hour, it only got up to like 80 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly acceptable. So that was great. The space on the bottom was because there's room for a internal backup drive, like a laptop-sized backup drive. You've got to be kidding me. What the heck? So by the way, when we order them, the only thing that's integrated is the processor. It's built into the board. You can't change out the processor. But they offer 3 different models of this Mini. The one that we're offering on the Ultimate Upgrade is the base model, has a Ryzen 5 chip. Or you can get a Ryzen 7 if you really want to go crazy and go holiday special style. Or you could go Ryzen 9. You guys, that doesn't happen. Do you know how much a Ryzen 9 laptop costs? Oh, it comes with Windows 11. All the normal stuff, but this thing is amazing. Oh, and then you get to the extras, because when you unbox this thing, you don't normally, when you see computers, like you've seen the computers like the Asus boxes, right? Asus is a solid company, but their unboxing is kind of bland. It's like brown cardboard box, and you open the lid, and there's a laptop in a little cloth-like bag thing, and you take it out of the bag and you open it up, and there's a little slip of beautiful cloth there keeping the keys from making imprints on the keyboard, on the screen, and then you plug in your power brick, and that's about it. That's it. That's your unboxing experience. This thing in the Mini, when you open the box, it's like unboxing an iPhone. The packaging is so impressive, and I know it's a box, Thor. Don't get too excited. But when you get into the box, you're like, what is this? What is this bracket? Oh, that's the bracket that you can use to mount this on the back of a monitor to turn it into an all-in-one. Now, we've looked into doing this before, making custom or modular all-in-ones, where you could basically pick the size of your screen, and then we could bolt a computer on the back of the screen and make you a custom all-in-one. The problem is that flipping HDMI cord. They come in like, the smallest one you can get is like 3 feet. So you have a computer that's literally 6 inches away from the port, and you have a 3-foot cable coiled up back there. It's super not sexy, right? That's one of the reasons we've never done it. Well, they thought of that too. And it comes with a 6-inch HDMI cable that you can use if you're going to mount it to the back of the screen. You can just plug it right in. It's too short to use for anything else. Sorry, you're not going to plug a VCR into the TV or anything. Did I say VCR? The DVD. Did I say DVD player? The Blu-ray. Did I say Blu-ray player? You're not going to hook your Roku up to your TV with that thing. There you go. People still have those. It's absolutely amazing. Betsy bought the first one, actually. I mean, Jeff sold almost the entire batch to Schrock business customers. I'm like, whoa, Tiger, slow down. We need to have 4 display models, and we need to have a few to launch on day one, right? So basically, the Mini has been an amazing hit. It's been so successful, in fact, that we have put in an order, rather than buying them through the wholesale channel that we normally purchase through, we actually have contacted the manufacturer directly, and we're putting in orders that are large enough that we can be considered a supplier of our own, because that's how much interest we're seeing in these. So if you want to check it out, you can go to SchrockInnovations.com, click on Shop, and then Specials. And there's the lovely Kimberly has all the pictures all set up to put up on the screen. You'll notice on our Facebook page, we still have the maintenance checkup header. Normally, we would have switched all this out for ultimate upgrade graphics right now. But my wife's computer's having problems. See, it happens to me too. I was troubleshooting that last night and then even early this morning. But we'll get those graphics changed out for you. But the base pictures are up at SchrockInnovations.com. All the shops have their display models, all 3 of them. You can check out the laptop. The laptop, the desktop, or the Mini. The Mini is the most powerful of the 3 computers, honestly, this year. The laptop, it's basically an Intrepid, guys. It's an Intrepid with a little bit smaller hard drive. That's it. Don't buy an Intrepid. Buy the ultimate upgrade and spend $50 to double the hard drive, and you're going to save like $150. Just trade in some old piece of garbage. The desktop computer, it's a custom case this year. It's a beautiful mesh case, flat front, just very plain, very, very sophisticated looking. But it's a standard modular build inside. It's got the same Wi-Fi card, the same motherboard, the same hard drives, the same memory that we would put in any of our other computers. It's just you pay a lot less for it during the ultimate upgrade when you trade in your computer. We'll have more to talk about on this as we go through the program today, because there's so much about each of the 3 computers. But the big thing I wanted to do is introduce you to the Mini, because it's something different this year. And if it does well during the ultimate upgrade, if it sells like we think it's going to sell, we may end up making this part of our regular lineup. It'll be the first time we've added a new device to the lineup in over 6 years. So new device meaning a new device class. We've changed our computers in 6 years, right? 402-558-1110 is the number to join us. If you're outside of the metro area, you can reach out to us toll free, 888-250-2091. As we do every show, we'll be giving away a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate to one lucky person who calls in. So please do not hesitate to ask a question or make a comment, because if you have the question, a lot of other people do as well. A little late on my break here, guys, so we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, interesting thing happened this week, and Linux dodged a security bullet. Now, you hear about Linux all the time, right? People, why are you running Windows? You should run Linux. And, it's kind of normal people don't know what Linux really is, and techie people are like, Linux is the best thing in the world. Well, they dodged a massive security bullet, like a potentially software ending kind of security threat this week. And we're going to tell you what almost happened coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations solid-state laptops are engineered locally for speed and reliability you just can't get from the major national brands. Each of our laptops starts off with an Asus chassis. We remove the stock drives and memory and upgrade them with higher-performing components. This unlocks the full potential of the laptop, making the unit up to 25% faster. This is why Schrock solid-state laptops last so much longer than the competition. If your laptop starts out 25% faster, that means over time it doesn't slow down nearly as fast.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals.
When your computer has a warranty and you have a problem, don't call the manufacturers for help. Call Schrock Innovations. Schrock will contact HP, Dell, Asus, Samsung, or any other manufacturer to arrange a warranty repair at no cost to you. We know how these companies work. We know the loopholes and the tricks to get your system repaired under warranty as quickly as possible. Even so, manufacturers can take up to 21 days to fix your computer. We'll give you the option of a fast local repair in one of our service centers or provide you with a loaner laptop to use while you wait. We can even back up your data before we ship your computer, just in case the warranty fix includes a hard drive wipe. Schrock tests your computer when it comes back from repair to ensure the problem was solved properly and all of your hardware works like new. There's a reason Schrock Innovations is consistently voted the best in town. Whenever you need help, wherever you need it, Schrock Innovations makes your computer work for you.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where things are going crazy this year. Now, normally we have a bit of a slowdown starting in April. You know, things start to get a little quieter. Turnaround times speed up a little bit because the guys have less work on the bench, and we're much more focused on building computers for the ultimate upgrade this month. The quote out of Papillion, I was talking to Austin Taylor, and he was like, "I thought you said it was going to slow down this month." And I'm like, shh. We don't want it to slow down, but it just happens every year. There's a slowdown every year. Right around this time, it's going to hit us, and it always hits you when you least expect it. So if you're busy right now, just enjoy it. But no, usually this time of year, guys, we do see a slowdown as people get involved in the spring and the summer activities of life. So if you have those maintenance checkup certificates that you purchase to bring in at a convenient time so you could get a good turnaround time, now is the time that you can start thinking about bringing those in, because the turnaround times are fantastic in all of the service centers. 402-558-1110 is the number to join us on the program. If you're outside the metro, 888-250-2091. So we hear a lot about Linux, right? Everybody says, nobody really knows what Linux is. It's an operating system. Okay, duh, Thor, I know it runs computers. Well, it actually runs most of the servers that you get your internet from. So when you go to a website, there's better than a 70% chance that that server is running Linux. The Schrock servers run Linux for our web servers. So almost, I would say the majority of internet websites. There are Microsoft versions out there. They're not nearly as popular as the Linux versions. Now, Linux is what's called open source software. What that means is anybody can look at the source code of Linux to see exactly what it's doing and why it's doing it. And there are really smart people that enjoy coding. It's like a hobby or a fun thing that they do. And they will work on creating new features and new functionalities to include in the Linux project. And then the community of people around them will come together and help support them in their development, or help them with issues or problems or whatever. And it becomes a community-driven development process that leads to a better product. So it's a very different model than Microsoft, where Microsoft's engineers come down and say, "Here's Windows 12, thump. You must buy a new PC." It's very different, right? Same thing happens with Linux. I mean, it does, move forward and require new hardware eventually, but it's very community driven. So every single Linux operating system comes with a file compression utility. Think about it like a zip file. You guys know what zip files are, right? When you take a bunch of files and you put them together into a zippered up folder, and it makes it a little smaller. It compresses the files so you can transmit them over the internet faster. So every Linux computer, every Linux operating system distribution has a utility called xzutils. It's basically their version of zip that Linux uses. Now, there's a guy named, I'm going to butcher this name, Gia Tan, J-I-A. I don't know how you pronounce it. Gia, I don't know. We'll call him Gia Tan. JT, there we go. JT for short. Was a guy who took over. He basically started in 2021 volunteering his time as a coder to work on improving the xzutility application within the Linux distribution. And over a period of time, using his account as well as several sock puppet accounts, in other words, accounts that he actually controlled but they appeared to be different people, he basically took over that entire component of the project. He was xzutilities, a utility that's distributed in every Linux distribution. And then one day he decided to put a backdoor in those utilities so that a nefarious actor, who we do not know who this is, could infiltrate any Linux computer on the planet using this backdoor. So as people develop code in the open source community, it's not like some guy comes up with cool code and then it just goes out to everybody. Basically it's put together into a program. The community evaluates it and looks at it, tests it out on its own equipment, talks about improvements, looks at the code, makes sure it's efficient. All that stuff happens. There's a period basically before consensus is reached when that software is released to the public. Well, in this consensus period, when xzutilities had this backdoor, a Microsoft researcher, the other model, Microsoft researcher was running Linux on a computer, and he realized that this utilities program was using more resources than he thought it should. Not an unreasonable amount, but just more than he thought it should. So he started, maybe I can help clean up this code, right? So he starts looking into it. And what he finds is he finds a back door. And he's like, oh my gosh, this would allow anybody to access. Holy cow. And so he releases what he's found. He's like, this is a problem. And he releases it, and Jiatan disappears. And all of a sudden, the biggest story in Linux security, probably in years, hits that Linux got within 1 inch of releasing a utility program that would have allowed anyone, would have allowed a bad actor, backdoor access to every Linux computer in the world. As Joe Biden would say, that's a big deal, a big deal. So, of course, right now, open source is everybody's whipping boy. Oh, yeah, this open source software, you can't trust it. You got these Jiatans, these JTs doing their thing here, putting their back doors in, and, you don't even know what you're getting. It's bad. Bad. Can't have open source. Ironically, the reason that the back door was discovered in the first place was because it was open source. So I'm not here to whip Linux over this. I mean, this is, somebody pointed out. Let's talk about Microsoft. Let's say some engineer at Microsoft gets, some kind of influence, somebody gets influence over him, blackmail, whatever, and tell him you're going to put a back door in Windows. And he does. Who is going to catch that? Because the Windows operating system is closed. The only people who have access to the source code are the engineers on the team. So all you have to do is compromise the right group of engineers, and you could put a back door in Windows and no one would ever know. But because Linux is open source, anyone can look. It got found. So a lot of people are out there whipping Linux over this, and it's all over the security blogs. I'm not one of the people that's whipping Linux over it because, it's kind of like the First Amendment, right? It can be used for tremendous good. And it can be used to bring consensus among people and to get everyone to agree, right? But if you short circuit that First Amendment, if you ban certain speech, if you prevent people from saying what's on their minds, you automatically know less. I mean, if someone's a racist, wouldn't you rather know they're a racist? Give them some rope, let them go. It's not like they're going to compel other people to be racist. You would hope, right? If somebody is a Palestinian supporter, let them tell you they're a Palestinian supporter. It is what it is, right? Linux and open source works kind of the same way. By having more voices, you get at the end, through sometimes a messier process, a better result in some cases. So it's good stuff. So if you hear anybody whipping up on Linux about their security vulnerability with XZ utilities, or if you happen to know where JT is staying right now, we're kind of looking for this guy. Let us know, and we'll be happy to track him down for you. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. Got to take a quick break here, but when we come back, Patricia and Steve, your calls coming up next on Compute This.
Everyone has experienced some form of data loss or knows someone who has. It's unfortunate, but sometimes the technology we rely on simply fails. And the last question you want to hear at that time is, you have a backup, right? When your hard drive, memory card, backup drive, or flash drive fails you, turn to the data recovery experts at Schrock Innovations to get those pictures, songs, and memories back. Not all data recovery companies are the same. Having the right tools and knowledge to get the job done right on the first attempt makes all the difference between a successful recovery and the permanent loss of your important data. Sometimes you only get one shot at a successful recovery. That's why Schrock has invested in top-of-the-line recovery imagers, a Class 100 clean environment, over 10,000 donor components, and a staff of recovery engineers that are the best in the business. Schrock has a 96% recovery rate getting data back from failed devices. When the unthinkable happens and you need your data back, turn to the experts at Schrock Innovations for professional and affordable data recovery services.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan.
Laptops are subjected to some of the most stressful computing situations imaginable. They get dropped, stepped on, slapped shut, and pushed until the battery dies sometimes. Your laptop works hard for you, so when it has a problem, take it to the laptop experts at Schrock Innovations. Schrock has 4 convenient service centers in Nebraska and Iowa, with more than 100 total bench spots to get your technology up and running again. Schrock has the largest supply of replacement components in stock, and we fix more laptops than any other nearby repair center. Why wait weeks to get your computer fixed when Schrock can diagnose the problem, provide you with a friendly and accurate estimate, and fix it usually in 2 days or less? Remember, if you have never been into our service centers before, new customers get their first hour of labor free. So the next time your laptop screen gets cracked, the keys pop off your keyboard, or your 2-year-old decides a glass of milk is exactly what your laptop needs to cool off, take it to Schrock and let your local laptop repair experts get it back in top shape again.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock, and the ultimate upgrade is back at Schrock Innovations. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. If you're just joining us on the program, the ultimate upgrade is back. What is the ultimate upgrade? Trade in any computer you've got. We don't care if it works. We don't care if it's missing parts. We have people come in and bring in a computer, and they're like, they bring in the shell, right? They take the motherboard out and everything. And we're like, we don't care. We recycled 19,000 pounds of e-waste last year, of computer e-waste. That's what we're going for here. We're trying to take non-Schrock computers out of circulation and put modular computers, solid-state laptops, and modular minis in their place. That's what this is about. So we're selling them at a deep discount one time every year because you can trade in your old piece of garbage toward something that's new and cool, the ultimate upgrade. Now, you can get a laptop. You can get a desktop, whatever you choose, or you can get the new Mini, which is I would encourage you to stop by any Schrock location and take a look at this. I mean, given the wind here lately, it will blow you away. We can't have the Minis outside. They would literally blow away. The wind out here is crazy the last couple of days. So check it out, SchrockInnovations.com. You can click on Shop and Specials. The way the trade-in works is you don't actually trade in your computer until you pick up your new one. So you don't have to bring your computer with you to the shop to buy the new one because there's going to be, you probably want a data transfer and things like that. And you don't have to trade in your main computer. So if you have an old rusty computer in the garage, you can trade that in and then say, but I want you to transfer the data from my cool laptop. Absolutely. You don't have to trade in your cool laptop. You can trade in the old rusty thing and we'll take that. It's actually, probably better for the environment anyway that we take the big heavy ones, right? So you can trade those in at Schrock when you pick up your new computer. So we'll be talking about this more on the program, but we've got some folks who have been on the line here, and I appreciate your patience. So let's jump into those phones, 402-558-1110. Patricia, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Hi there, Thor. Thank you. Yes, I was wondering, do they still sell those computer screen filters that you can hook over a computer screen so as to filter out blue light and ultraviolet light?
Yeah, let me check on that real quick. I'm sure they do. I mean, if they've ever sold it, it's still for sale. I think you can still buy buggy whips,
I used to, back in the old days, they had one at my computer desk where I worked, where I could hook it over the screen, and it supposedly blocked out some of the harmful rays.
Yeah, it looks like you can get, now it's sold as a film or a plastic, like a hard plastic shell that goes over the front of the computer. It kind of hangs like a lip over the top. And it looks like they run about $50 for a 22, 23-inch size. They also have blue light glasses. Those are cheaper. So if they're small, you put them in front of your eyes instead, and they're $15. But
yes, but it doesn't shield your delicate face that way.
No, you'll still get wrinkles. Yeah, that's true. Those blue light wrinkles will get you.
The screen would be nice. And you folks sell those then?
We do not actually. We can order one for you though, but we don't carry them in stock. But literally, you can have us order it. But I just popped onto Amazon, and I'm seeing sponsored results from $42 up to $50 or $60, just depending on the size that you need for your monitor. Honestly, if you came in to order one, we'd probably go on Amazon and just order it. So if you wanted to save yourself the step, I love your business and I love your money for sure. But, at the other hand, there's a line where you're like, I would hate to buy this and mark it up 10% to resell it to you. You just go on Amazon and pick it up.
I see. I gotcha. Also, one question for you as well is those store credits, do they expire? The gift certificates that you give out as prizes?
They used to back in the day, but our new system, we've made some compromises, right? So now we have a digital system where we can digitally put it in your Schrock account. Then when you come in to do anything, you've probably forgotten that you ever won one of those certificates, but the computer remembers. And so it applies it to your next invoice automatically, whatever that invoice is, unless you don't want to. We have to turn it off rather than leave it on. So it does not expire. The only limitation is you can only win once every 90 days.
Yeah. So the credits that a person might have won from 2023, are those still good or not?
Oh, yeah, they should be in there.
Okay, because I had talked to Marissa, who said that there was no expiration date. She was from Papillion store. But then Amy had said last time I won one, she said, I believe she said that it expired in 90 days, or they were.
Right.
It was actually the year was turning over also from 23 to 24, and she said to clear up our books, we got to get rid of these.
Well, that's the difference. Basically, Amy. I can't fault Amy because that's how the system used to work. So, like, we have this thing called the Schrock Wiki.
Yeah.
So new employees, they can come in if they have a question, they can search the Schrock Wiki, and it tells them everything that is Schrock. And in the Schrock Wiki, buried somewhere, there's probably a line that says they expire after 90 days. And basically, it's because they're coupons. They're not technically gift certificates. They're coupons. But our new system doesn't have the ability to differentiate between. I mean, we could issue you a coupon code, and then you could use your coupon code and we could expire that, but then you have to remember a coupon code. It's just easier for us to put it in your account, let you keep it, and then use it when the time comes that you want to use it. The other thing that's nice too is because it's in your Schrock account, you can actually log into your Schrock account from SchrockInnovations.com, and you click on the login in the top right, like if you were gonna buy something, and you can go into your account and you can see what credits you have.
Okay. And I think they also kind of weren't sure about my name. They thought my first name was Melody for some reason. I don't know, but
well, you do have a melodious voice.
Well, thank you, sir. That'll go a long way. Because I actually had won 3 times during 23 and then once in 24.
Oh wow!
So
thank you.
So I ought to have $100 in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess.
Well, yeah, give us a call and check it out, or take a look in your Schrock account and check it out and see if you can, if you pull up and see what you've got in there. But yeah, they don't expire, so you should be good to go. Unless, of course, you bought something, then it would have automatically applied whatever you had in your account toward what you were buying to reduce the price.
Well, I bought something at the grocery store, but otherwise,
yeah,
haven't been out to buy some computer yet.
Yeah, we haven't cracked that nut yet, Patricia. Groceries are still expensive. We haven't figured that one out yet.
Righto. Thanks very much, Thor.
All right, thank you. Have a great afternoon. All right, Steve, welcome to the program. I understand you have a question for Allo. How can I help, or about Allo? I guess, how can I help you?
I don't know if this is too specific, but I can talk about Allo, I think.
Sure.
I got an email from him, and it talked about Smart Town. And I'll read you a little bit from the email. Smart Town provides free, secure, user-friendly Wi-Fi service, all costs Fremont for Allo residential customers. Means Allo residential customers. I am one of them. Enrolled in that can connect to Allo Wi-Fi while walking around the neighborhood, downtown, to school, or at the park. The Allo Blast router you currently have at your home will also provide safe and secure Smart Town Wi-Fi connectivity to all Allo residential customers. It's important to note that enabling that on your Blast router will not impact your connection in your home. Your personal network and devices remain separate, secure, and private. And so my question is, if you got something like this and you were an Allo customer, I know Allo's in other towns in Fremont. So
Allo's in Lincoln. We have Allo in our Lincoln Service Center.
You do,
Yeah.
Would you participate in that, or would you be leery for security reasons?
All right. So basically, long story short, what's going on is Allo is saying that we're going to give you the ability to connect to wireless internet wherever you're at. And in exchange for that ability, you are going to provide wireless internet for anybody who's walking past your house. That's essentially what it is. So on one hand, let's put this way, it's not a security risk. I don't think you're going to have a security risk from this. The only thing that comes from this is the the core belief, like if I'm paying for X amount of internet signal, I want to get X amount of internet signal. The majority of us are getting so much. I saw a billboard on the way in that Google Fiber is coming to town in Omaha, and it's got 8 gigabit internet. I mean, I have 1 gigabit in my house, and it's phenomenally fast. I mean, my technicians, when they want to come to my house to test their programs and stuff because it downloads so fast. It's faster than the shops. It's crazy. Well, having somebody else on your Wi-Fi is going to slow your Wi-Fi down. So if you have one person on your Wi-Fi intermittently as they walk by or something, you're never going to even notice they're there. But I mean, I suppose if you were, like Schrock is underneath an apartment complex in Lincoln. So there's, 100 people living above us. And if they were all on our Wi-Fi, well, that could get a little bogged down. You know what I mean? So at the shop, we would probably say no, thank you because of that environment. Or if you were in an apartment complex, I'd probably say no, thank you because of that. But if you were, a house on the street somewhere, I don't think you're going to see any drawdown from it. So, the other question is, do you walk around a lot on the internet and require Wi-Fi, or are you using your cellular connection?
I tend to not do public Wi-Fi anywhere and just use my cellular connection.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the only factor in this that would be, that I would think would be risky to me. Allo has their routers locked down so that average people can't get into the router and see what's going on and look at the traffic and everything else. If you were not running a VPN, there is the potential for what's called a man-in-the-middle attack. It's very remote. I mean, you'd have to be connected to just the right guy's modem or just the right guy's router at just the right time you did something important that this person would capture over an unencrypted connection. Like I said, if you're not walking around and using if you don't use public Wi-Fi, then there's no reason for you to participate in this because you're not getting any benefit. So it's kind of like with my cell phone when they're like, do you want to turn on Wi-Fi calling? I'm like, no, I pay you to put a tower near my house so that I can call on your network. Now you want to use my network with a phone that I had to pay for, and you're going to charge me monthly for the beauty of using my own network? What? All right. Thanks for the call, Steve. I appreciate you joining us on the program today. All right, guys, it's that easy. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. So real quick, I've talked a lot about the Mini for the Ultimate Upgrade. I don't mean to ignore its brothers. The laptop for the Ultimate Upgrade this year is basically, it's the Intrepid laptop. So it's the same solid-state laptop that if you came in, it's our mid-range laptop. It's the most popular one that we sell. The only difference between the standard Intrepid and the Ultimate Upgrade is the Ultimate Upgrade comes with a 120 hard drive instead of a 250. But here's the thing. The Ultimate Upgrade is a sale for people who don't want to spend a lot of money on a computer, right? So when you buy the computer, it's kind of like that Dell catalog. You get the Dell catalog and it's like, brand new computer, $99. And you're like, that's amazing. I'm going to totally do that. But then you realize that a computer that's $99 is a piece of garbage. So you got to double up the memory and you got a bigger hard drive. And now you got to add some Wi-Fi to it because it didn't have Wi-Fi. And then by the time you're done adding stuff, guess what? Ooh, you're back at $900. That's how the Dell catalog model works. This isn't like that because what we have found is on the Ultimate Upgrade, if we have the standardized pricing for upgrades that we would do on any other modular computer, guess what happens? Nobody upgrades anything because the Ultimate Upgrade is a special for people who don't want to spend a lot of money on a computer. So why would you spend a lot of money on a computer? You could do that any day of the month, So with the Ultimate Upgrade, all of the upgrades are also discounted off of their normal prices. So on the laptop, for example, let's say you were going to buy an Intrepid for $800. You walk into the shop with $800 in your pocket and you see the Ultimate Upgrade. And it's the same laptop with a smaller hard drive. Then you find out it's only $50 to double the hard drive. So now if we're at $650 versus $800, and all you have to do is trade in some old piece of garbage that nobody wants anyway, that we're not going to get anything out of it. We're not going to use any parts from it in your new computer. We're going to literally hand you your new computer and you're going to hand me your piece of junk and then we're going to call it a day. We're going to recycle it. It's going to go to Sadoff Recycling. It's actually going to get recycled right here locally and get recycled properly. The hard drive is going to get removed. See, we keep your hard drive for 15 days just in case you trade in we've had customers trade in the wrong computer. And they're like, oh, do you still have it? And we're like, no. Now we keep the hard drive for 15 days. After 15 days, we use downtime to wipe hard drives. We just zero them. And then once they're zeroed, we send them to SADOF, where they're zeroed again and then ground up and recycled. So your data is safe. You're not going to have any data leak or anything like that happen. If you want to pull your own hard drive, we don't care, because we don't care if parts are missing either. Maybe you want the desktop instead because you want the upgradability. You want to be able to put an NVIDIA graphics card in there in the future when AI starts punching you in the face with all these cool things it can do, and you want to be able to do that. But maybe you don't want to spend the money on it today, because there isn't really anything super cool you can do today besides chat with it, and you can chat with a friend for free. So you don't need ChatGPT. So you're just going to get an ultimate upgrade desktop because it's modular. You know it's upgradable. It's going to last you over 6 years. We've had modular holiday specials in service for more than a decade, like sometimes double. I think the record is 18 years before the customer was just finally like, I'm tired of looking at this case. I just want something that looks new and cool. It's kind of got that yellowed plasticky look to it. It's time to go. But we just kept upgrading it and upgrading it and maintaining it and kept it rolling. And then it was a great value for the customer. So during the ultimate upgrade, you can choose if the desktop is the right thing for you, if the laptop is the right thing for you, or if the Mini is the right thing for you. The only thing I'll tell you about the Mini is the most powerful of the three, but it's just a computer. Just like the ultimate upgrade is just a tower, it doesn't come with a monitor or anything. The Mini is just a little mini computer, so you have to use your own monitor, your own keyboard, or your own mouse. Or you can get one from us, obviously. They're on the sheet there if you want to get them. But you use your own stuff. There are two connections on the Mini. There's an HDMI connection, and there's actually a DisplayPort connection for ultra high resolution displays. So those are your two display types. So if you have the old VGA connection, your monitor's not going to work with it. And we'll go over all that with you in the service center when you come in. All the other computers, obviously the laptop has a monitor built into it, and the desktop, we use a certain motherboard that has all three connections so that no matter what monitor you have at home, it will run on the desktop. So check out the ultimate upgrade. Go to SchrockInnovations.com, click on Shop and Specials. Available in all the service centers. Display models are there as well. Going to take our final break of the program here, guys. But when we come back, the shocking cost of keeping Windows 10. And I know there's some of you, what do they call those during the Iraq War years? The bitter clingers. You bitter clingers. Hanging on to your Windows 10. I'll never get AI. I hate self-checkout too. And, the shocking cost that you're going to pay to keep your Windows. If you like your Windows 10, you can keep your Windows 10. But it's going to cost you, and we're going to tell you how much it's going to cost coming up next on Compute This.
Remember the good old days when virus detection worked like Where's Waldo? Spot the virus in the striped shirt and you win. Today's infections are changing hourly to avoid detection and use social engineering to trick you into making mistakes. Using yesterday's security to defend against today's threats is like using leeches to stop an infection. It just doesn't work. We recommend Sophos Intercept X antivirus backed by Schrock's virus-free guarantee. Sophos uses the power of AI to detect the patterns of a virus attack and responds with Schrock's custom actions that stop it fast. With Sophos on your PC, Mac, Android, or iOS device, you get the state-of-the-art protection you need to defend against the most advanced attacks out there. In fact, if your device gets a virus while running Sophos antivirus, Schrock will remove it for free, guaranteed. It hasn't happened yet, and we intend to keep it that way. Ditch your dad's antivirus and keep your device, data, and identities safe with Sophos and Schrock Innovations.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it.
You know your computer needs modern antivirus, and you know using a VPN helps protect your identity online. But did you know that all of that protection could be useless if you're running outdated programs? We all run common free software like Adobe Reader, Dropbox, Firefox, and Chrome. Every day there are critical security updates for these common programs that don't get automatically installed for up to 2 weeks. That's an eternity in today's world. That's why Schrock created Secure Updater. Secure Updater checks for and installs these critical updates every 8 hours, boosting your antivirus by closing off attack vectors before they can be used to penetrate your computer. Go to secureupdater.com and try it for free. We are so confident in our product, we don't even ask for a credit card to start the trial. Go to secureupdater.com today and start your 14-day trial and enjoy having the peace of mind that your software is being updated quickly and safely. You will be shocked at the number of programs that are out of date on your PC right now. Get your 14-day free trial at secureupdater.com.
Alrighty, guys, final segment of the program today. Thanks for sticking with us through the hour. We really appreciate you being here. Schrock Innovations has 4 locations, by the way, to help you out with your computer needs, to help your business out. Schrock Business is specifically engineered for businesses. We've been doing, it's been crazy, the number of things that Schrock Business has been doing, from custom software to operate toll bridges to custom software to operate pig weighing feeding machines. Some of the things we've done this year have been pretty crazy, but everything down to like a small chiropractic practice or a business with 1 computer or 50 computers in a retirement facility. It's just been an amazing year for Schrock Business. So no matter if you're a business or a consumer, we're here to help you at Schrock Innovations. And if you're a consumer, I hate to tell you, but nobody wants you anymore. We are one of the few IT businesses left that really is interested in servicing those messy humans called consumers. They want things, they ask questions, stupid questions. Oh, the questions are awful. I wish we'd get more calls and more questions. I love the questions. And we love you at Schrock. We had a meeting with our managers and we said, literally, what are we if we don't have our consumers? Like all these businesses that want to get, venture capital or, private equity money, they're all going 100% corporate service, 100% business, because that's where the money is right now. And they're literally ditching their consumers, and we are scooping them up. That's one of the reasons why we are not seeing a slowdown as bad this year as we have in years past, because a lot of our competitors have given them the boot, given their consumers the boot, and they're looking for a new home. And we would love to have you at Schrock. See, here's the thing. At Schrock, we treat our consumers like little businesses. We keep you at, why should you be less secure because you're a consumer? Why should you be running McAfee where a business is running Sophos? Why should you not be as secure? Why should you have less reliable technology? Well, if a consumer has downtime, they've got the time to spare. But if a business has downtime, that's a problem. That's not how it's supposed to be. So at Schrock, we treat each of our consumers like little businesses. And it works. The model works. Quality service, quality support, good products, the right products selected for the right reasons in the right situations. And you kind of forget that you have a computer, right? It just works. And isn't that what you want? Isn't that what everybody wants? To be able to just do what they are there to do and have their computer just work for them. So 4 locations. We have Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Omaha, 168th and Burke Street, across the street from the Village Point Mall. In Papillion, 84th and Highway 370 in the Midlands Place Shopping Center. And also in West Des Moines, Iowa, 9500 University Avenue. Take your pick, whichever one's closest to you, or shop online at SchrockInnovations.com. Coming up after the end of the program today, we will have an after Schrock this week, guys. And, we were joking before the show went on the air. There was the news is like the, the path of totality for the eclipse. I'm like, wow, it sounds like a Star Wars thing, right? The path of totality you are on. It's like, what is this? Like, why does everybody think that the world is going to go crazy and your dog's going to rip your head off when the sun goes dark for a few seconds or minutes or whatever? So I've got a list of all the conspiracy theories of things that are supposed to happen during the eclipse, and we can all laugh about those, how stupid they are. And then I'm going to hit you with the real conspiracy theories. Why did Israel blow up an Iranian consulate right away? Not recently. Why did that happen? Stay tuned for the Aftershock, and we'll go over that as well for you. All right, so winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Congratulations, Steve. You got yourself $25. It was a close call between you and Patricia there, but 50-50 shot. Steve, congratulations. You've got yourself $25. Amy will get that added to your Schrock account, and then, we'll let you know. If she needs information from you, she'll call you, but we'll let you know it's in there and ready for your purchase. Like as I mentioned, all the service centers are open Saturday from 10 in the morning till 8 in the evening. Sunday, all of them are open from noon to 5 except for Des Moines. We're almost back to a point where we can have those open on Sunday in Des Moines again, guys. Staffing has been a real challenge there, but we're getting past that for you. Stay tuned for the Aftershock. We'll see you in the service centers, and we'll be busy building computers for you. Thank you for ordering the first mini, Betsy. We appreciate it. And we'll see you again next weekend for another live edition of Compute This.
from the Amish Furniture of Nebraska studio.